Hello instructors, I'm Sarah Parlier, Director of Teaching and Learning. I'd like to show you around the Gradebook in MyCourses. This is a very basic and short introduction. You can learn more about the Gradebook features by going to the Faculty LMS Resource Guide. To begin working, you'll need to access your Gradebook. The easiest way to do that is to go to the settings wheel in the upper right-hand corner of your course. You'll click on that settings wheel and scroll down to the option for Gradebook Setup. Once you're in the Gradebook Setup view, you can see that your Gradebook has been populated with some items already. Now, if you're inheriting a course from an instructor, your Gradebook may be fully populated with assignments. If you're building a course, you may be creating these items. So it depends on the context of how you're getting access to the course of what you may see here when you click on Gradebook Setup. Quickly, I'll show you this biology course. The Gradebook setup for this course includes some elements that are automatically loaded into every course at Blue Ridge, those being the syllabus confirmation and solo confirmation quiz, as well as the Blue Ridge Police Run, Hide, Fight acknowledgement. Those are weighted as a default at 0, and they should not be in any category as a starter for the course. Now, you may choose to do something different with those if you'd like. You'll notice underneath those 3 items that we've got some categories, and these are noted through a green coloration, a green grouping. And you can see here that in this course, there are several items that are included in the reading quizzes category. Categories are something we'll get into more in another video, but what you can see here is that the Gradebook is broken down into different groupings of how things are weighted. So everything within this green grouping of reading quizzes is part of that 33% of the overall grade. You can see that there's a labs category and even a subcategory within that, and there are additional categories. Most folks, when they work in their Gradebook, will work with categories. You do have the option of doing what we call natural grading, where everything just adds up to total points, but most instructors like to use the category weighting. It seems to work out very easily for them and for their students to track their grades. Again, you can see all of this under the Gradebook setup. You notice at the top here that we see this Gradebook setup label and title. You can switch between views by clicking on Gradebook setup, and you can go to other views, which we'll do now. Now you'll see we are in the Grader Report option, and we can see that right underneath it also lists it as Grader Report. This is essentially like looking at a table of all the grades that students have earned. You can see here that we have a student listed, and that name has been blurred out, but you can see across the way that we have many different grades inputted for that particular student. And this is how you will most oftentimes interact with the grades when you're checking on students to see how they're doing. Most instructors like to check that course total grade and pay attention to that. They may also go back in and manually fill in grades. The Grader Report screen is very useful. Another screen that's useful is the User Report screen, and you can see here that we are in the User Report, and this is essentially a breakout report for each individual student in your course. You can see this as an instructor, and you may find this useful if you want to double check and make sure that students are seeing what you're seeing. Every once in a while, a Gradebook item will be entered incorrectly, or a setting will be incorrect. Maybe something is hidden and you're not aware of it. Hidden items in the Gradebook will not appear in a user report, but will appear for the instructor. So if you ever want to check to see if a student's grade is showing up for the student the same way it is for you, you can use this user report option. So this was just a very quick initial tour of the different views that you have in the Gradebook. Again, you'll most likely be using Gradebook Setup and Grader Report views as you create grade items and create categories, and also as you enter grades. Thanks, and look for more information about using the Gradebook in the Faculty LMS Resource Guide.